Welcome back to this edition of Mompreneurs, the real deal, where we're getting real and raw with mompreneur Lydia Knight. And we have gone deep into her history. We have learned about growing up Mormon, in a cult, single motherhood, how she's been an entrepreneur basically since, age 11, and how deprogramming from the cult actually formed not only a business, but an impact project. So, we started before the break to talk about the She Center, which again, I know Lydia still does the deprogramming for women. I believe it's for women exclusively with eating disorders. Is that correct?
Men as well, but our audience is usually women. Yeah.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit more about the She Center and what your work is going on there.
Yes. So what we know to be true is that most every problem that we struggle with as a nation globally is because of the missing influence of women. Missing influence in women in stories and decision making and power and leadership. And so our core mission is to support women and restore them into the influence in the world that we need to heal and thrive. And we really do that through the process of deprogramming. So whether it is how we've been taught, from the programming of patriarchy or the programming of diet culture or, other systems that we were raised with, to be able to examine what we grew up with and what we were taught without choosing it, and to come into an authenticity of what do I think, what do I want, how do I feel. And it's incredible to see the results that come from that. We've had clients who have, of course, ended their eating disorders, clients who have doubled their already substantial salary, clients who have had their husbands thank them for how they beautifully navigated asking for a divorce. Like, it's phenomenal to see when women stand in their authenticity what happens. So yes, we have our Empower program that focuses on ending eating disorders. We have our Rise program that focuses on executive coaching and professional women wanting to, become the best versions of themselves. And we have beautiful community that comes together. And there's a memoir called Split that is a double memoir of growing up in a cult and then my dad's story as well and how that impacted him. And we have our new book upcoming, Thought Leader, that is just open and raw about the things we've been teaching for the last 14 years. And we have just put it all into an incredible tell all, here are the principles book, because we want that to be a gift to humanity for more people to have those tools. So those are some of the things we're up to right now.
So I have a question for you because everyone watching here is a mompreneur. Most of us are in industries that are, male oriented, male dominated. There's less women in leadership than we would love to have. So what real advice and take home tips do you have for the women who are watching this show, who maybe are in that culture and want to assert their influence or really stand in their authenticity and bring that feminine energy into the workplace or their business?
Absolutely. One of the best places to start is that any time that you feel an unpleasant feeling, like you're not confident or you want to say something and you're holding yourself back or you feel like you have to make yourself small, instead of going into a place of guilt and shame of like, oh, why do I do this? Shift to a place of curiosity where you're observing those thoughts and with as much love and compassion as you can, ask yourself why. And what you will find is the core of what's happening. It's, oh, well, I don't want to be too much, or, well, people wouldn't like me if I said it this way, or, it won't be received, or just stuff that we don't agree with intellectually that we have moved through, but is still driving our behavior. So shifting to a point of curiosity is really, really powerful. And I'll give you just a quick shortcut, which I know seems kind of silly, but is very effective, that especially as a mompreneur or being the only woman who is an executive in a room of men, when you feel to say something or contribute something or especially ask for something, you can just ask yourself, how would a white male person approach this and what would they expect? I'll give you a fun example of that. We have a executive that we coach, only woman executive, everyone else is men on the team. And she wanted to invest in herself to do a leadership certification through the She Center. And she realized that she had these underlying thoughts in the background of, oh, well, I can't ask for my company to invest in me because I don't want to be difficult. And I better save my ask for just the right time. But then she looked around at the other executives in the room and realized every quarter they're going on retreats for personal development. They're getting this training and that training. And the coaching that we gave her is be someone that people have a habit of saying yes to. Have a track record of asking for things so people can say yes. So that's the identity that you have instead of someone that never asks for anything. And we can get clarity through that. So those are a couple of great places to start to just really get curious.
Yeah, that's so interesting. As you're talking about it, I'm thinking about all the things that I've, throughout my career in medicine, firstly, because that was so long, that I've been afraid to ask for, and had to have people push me to ask little things. Being gone for 30 minutes during the day to see, I've talked about this before on the air, to see, my son's preschool parade, which was absolutely ridiculous, but just being present means something to them, right? And so, but a lot of white men, if you will, just ask for what they need, and and don't, we just overthink so many. And I know that's a generalization, but I feel like women in general tend to overthink and worry about the reaction, versus just ask the question, and be true to ourselves. And I think that's something that is a really big focus right now. I've heard a lot of people talking about how, really the rise in feminism, and nothing, basically this world is going to change due to the feminism and the feminine presence. I don't know how you feel about that, but because I know you work with all of, world leaders, and, all the women in power, and, that. And so I don't know what your theory is on that, and how, how things are moving in that direction.
Yes, I think that we're all feeling it. What's interesting is when you deprogram from patriarchy or whatever is not serving you that's running in the background, it's not like silent in there. You're not like, oh, now I have to build things from scratch. Once you get rid of that noise that isn't serving you, there's almost like a music that has been there the whole time that you just haven't heard because of that other noise. And that music is like an inspiration and a guidance. And I think, especially as women, when we start listening to that, we have an incredible intuition, and we have an incredible, in general, heart for bringing people together and being collaborative. And it's not so much that there's anything good or bad about masculine or feminine, but just when things are out of balance, it doesn't work. And so coming back into that balance, and for us to have more of that contribution, is really important. And especially with so many hard things happening in the world right now, it's becoming more and more clear to people that we need solutions that work better. And we're finding those solutions so often in leadership that is woman led. And we can go into all sorts of fun stats around that, but women do a great job in leadership.
I couldn't agree more with what you just said. And it immediately brings me to, we're looking for equality and equity, and we're looking to complement what's already out there, because what we see in the world is not working. We're having so much strife in the world in every aspect. And if we were to bring more of that feminine, more of that collaboration, more of that nurturing to the world, imagine what a better place it is as we're more kind. We are drawing to the end of our episode today. And so I would really like, Lydia, if you could share with our audience, how can people reach out to you if they'd like to learn more, if maybe they're interested in what you've got going on or your upcoming book, how can they reach you?
Yes. So a great place to land is theshecenter.org. And that will have descriptions of our programs. You can reach out that way. Our team is amazing, and we're very excited to hear your stories. And something that has been very fun on social media right now, and it started out as my personal account, but now it's just turned into this beautiful way to share these stories, specifically about my cult upbringing. On TikTok, we have it's at Honest Story Time if you want to know more about the cult stories. And we've had a wonderful response. But for pretty much everything, the She Center, it's theshecenter.org. And you'll be able to, pre-order books, find out about our programs, and most especially connect with our community.
Well, thank you so much for your time and your expertise today. We really appreciate you coming and sharing with us and our audience. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you for having me on.
And you, yes, you, it's time for us to wrap this amazing episode. Unfortunately, all good things do come to an end, including this show. But today is the day to take action. Listen to everything that went on and pick one thing that you're going to do to use your voice, to get curious, to get rid of that secret shame. Whatever that is, today's the day to take action so that we can all move forward and learn from this and actually implement it in what we're doing in business and life. Sarah, go ahead and close us out with any last thoughts.
Yeah, Lydia, we really appreciate all of this. This has been incredible. It's been a great journey to go through with you, and I'm excited to learn more and watch you grow because you are truly fantastic. Jen, thank you for another great episode, and we will see you same time, same station next week. Bye, guys.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.